General, with coronavirus cases multiplying by the minute from coast to coast.
Why the mayor of Tybee Island says a decision made by Governor Brian Kemp is the equivalent of having sand kicked in her face.
Also tonight, renewed warnings about how ignoring social distancing guidelines could make the outbreak even worse. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us for the Sunday edition of CBS 46 News at 9. I'm Mike Dunstan.
Good to be with you. I'm Alicia Roberts. First on the news at 9, we start with the latest on the coronavirus outbreak here in Georgia.
And these are the latest numbers from the Georgia Department of Health. The death toll has now climbed by 8 from noon. 219 Georgians have passed away from the virus. There are 6,742 confirmed cases here in Georgia. Almost 1,300 people are in the hospital, and almost 28,000 Georgians have been tested for coronavirus so far.
Also breaking this night tonight, this couple is in the hospital after testing positive for COVID-19. According to police, the man refused to self-quarantine, and a judge later ordered his girlfriend to stay quarantined, but she also refused. Investigators say both were in the Tallapalooza area and did go out in public maybe several times. While it is one thing to stress social distancing, it is another to ensure those are following the rules. Tonight, CBS 46's Yasmina Alston is working with the Department of Natural Resources to find out whether or not Georgians are heeding the warnings.
The Georgia Department of Natural Resources tells me there have been some complaints about large groups here at the state park, but for the most part, people are social distancing.
You're seeing a very busy state park.
That's how Captain Mike Bergamy describes Red Top Mountain State Park, despite Georgia being under a shelter-in-place order. But that order doesn't say you can't come outside and be active.
If you're stir crazy and you want to take that risk of coming out and enjoying a little fun in the sun, make sure you're following the governor's executive orders guidelines.
Right now, the Department of Natural Resources is responding to some complaints at this state park of those not social distancing. But Bergamy says they're trying to educate the public about keeping a 6-foot distance instead of citations.
So basically, if we see something that needs addressing, we'll go up to them and we'll ask them, are they familiar with the governor's executive order, that they need to be 6 feet apart, no groups larger than 10, excluding family members of the same household. And believe it or not, 90% are very compliant.
Brian Allen and his girlfriend were hiking Sunday afternoon. Allen says there are quite a few people out, but everyone's been respectful of space.
It's not really that concerning to me because, when you come across somebody on the on the trail, you can kind of tell that they're inching away.
Captain Bergamy says he expects it will only get busier as the weather gets warmer.
If the Georgia citizens will do what they're asked to do, if they will practice social distancing, if they will practice great hygiene, we'll get through it.
Now, I did speak with some people on the campgrounds who say there are just way too many people coming out, but you can see tonight it's a much different scene than it was earlier this afternoon. Reporting from Red Top Mountain State Park, Yasmina Alston, CBS 46 News.
And the governor's shelter-in-place order is superseding local orders. That means Georgia beaches have reopened. And tonight, that is making the mayor of Tybee Island angry.
We don't have the ability to make sure that people are not gathering in groups of more than 10. And we also do not have our lifeguards on the beach to help protect beachgoers. So we're at a very, very precarious situation.
Mayor Sessions says the state has promised to have Georgia State Patrol and the Department of Natural Resources watch the beach. The mayor's also asking folks to shoot video or take photos of people who are violating social distancing rules.
Well, tonight, the number of people infected with coronavirus in the U.S. has jumped to more than 300,000.
And in the past 24 hours, another 1,300 people have died, sadly. Tonight, CBS News correspondent Nicole Killian getting us up to the minute on why experts are predicting things are going to get worse in the coming week.
Outside Wyckoff Hospital in Brooklyn, there is a makeshift morgue filling up with orange body bags. New York has been the state hardest hit by the coronavirus pandemic, but the governor says over the last few days, the number of deaths has decreased. There are fewer hospitalizations, and more coronavirus patients have been discharged.
We could be either very near the apex, or the apex could be a plateau, and we could be on that plateau right now.
But for other states, the numbers continue to rise. New Jersey's governor says the virus has killed more residents than the 9/11 attacks, and federal health officials warn the worst is yet to come.
This is going to be the hardest and the saddest week of most Americans' lives, quite frankly. This is going to be our Pearl Harbor moment, our 9/11 moment, only it's not going to be localized. It's going to be happening all over the country.
President Trump held another meeting with his coronavirus task force Sunday as one of its lead members warned the virus may not go away anytime soon.
Unless we get this globally under control, there's a very good chance that it will assume a seasonal nature, that as we get into next season, we may see the beginning of a resurgence.
He says that's why a vaccine is vital and why people in the 8 states without stay-at-home orders should practice social distancing regardless. In Florida, hundreds of healthy cruise ship passengers began to disembark from the Coral Princess for their journey home. 2 people on the ship had died of the coronavirus, and there are reports that at least one other critically ill person died after arriving into port Saturday. The ship had been denied docking by 3 countries after it was announced that 12 people on board had COVID-19. Nicole Killian, CBS News, the White House.
And also tonight, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer says there needs to be a coronavirus supply czar to oversee medical equipment distribution. It all follows backlash after it was reported that Jared Kushner, President Trump's son-in-law, is currently helping to oversee FEMA's distribution of those medical supplies. Opponents say Kushner, a real estate executive, has no public health experience.
For a lot of Georgians, Sunday was shopping day. It was a chance for them to stock up on essential items to get through the end of the week. CBS 46 News spoke to one woman who told us she lives in Rockdale County and came down to Atlanta because she figured there would be more things in stock. She says she was impressed by what she found at Costco.
Encouraged everyone to use a shopping cart after they cleaned one to enforce the 6 feet distance. The signage was very clear upon entry as far as what was available, what was sold out. And then the items that appear to be most popular based on what we're reading on the news, like toilet tissue, paper towels, were in the front of the store versus the rear.
Many stores, by the way, are closing early to allow for restocking for the next day.
Well, what a weekend that we had in Georgia, North Georgia, except one thing, the pollen count. It just continues to creep up and up and up. Thanks to the sunshine, thanks to the warm weather, we're back into the 3,000s for the pollen count, 3,360. That's, of course, in the extreme levels. And because we're not expecting a lot of rain for the next day or so, we're going to see those pollen counts just continue to climb. Right now, a live view CBS 46 Pinpoint Camera Network from our CBS 46 station looking towards Midtown. It is a beautiful, beautiful night out there, and temperatures are still extremely mild if you're trying to squeeze in one last evening walk. 71 still in Atlanta, 68 for you in Rome. Also Cobb County, Marietta, it's still 68 as well. When you wake up tomorrow morning, we will very briefly dip into the upper 50s, and then we're off to the races towards the 80s. Tomorrow afternoon, some near record highs is what we're talking about. And then the rain starts to move in. We'll talk about the timing of the rain in just a few minutes. Mike?
Okay, Molly, see you shortly. Well, tonight, the Wounded Warrior Project is launching a national campaign to reach nearly 20,000 wounded veterans and family members this month. As CBS 46's Melissa Stern found out, the goal is to help people who might be more stressed out during this crisis.
We just want to be that buffer. We want to be that support system.
The initiative, Operation Check-In, is helping connect warriors and family members around the country and providing them with support in the areas of mental, physical, and financial health.
We had to adapt to a virtual programming.
If you have any questions, comments, concerns about anything at all, please don't hesitate to reach out to us.
Around 500 Wounded Warrior Project teammates are making calls to spread awareness about the organization's virtual programming available to all registered warriors.
Really have not skipped a beat. Outside of being face-to-face with warriors, we still run our same programming.
The engagement helps with various aspects from mental health, benefits assistance, employment services, and health and wellness.
In fact, a lot of our numbers have went up from warriors that meet face-to-face.
Warriors can connect with fellow warriors and participate in online physical health and wellness challenges.
And this is all hands on deck type of initiative.
The goal is to reach even more warriors who have previously expressed interest in the organization's mental health services, but are not currently engaged.
As veterans, we tend to self-isolate. This is all new to us. So it's very important that we make the extra effort.
The nonprofit provides free resources and engagement opportunities for post 9/11 veterans across the country. And the Wounded Warrior Project says it's extremely important to be there for our veterans during this global health pandemic, especially until they can resume normal activities.
Not being able to engage with veterans or go do their day-to-day job or being stuck in the house. And the feedback that we've gotten from those calls with our Operation Check-In initiative is, hey, we're thankful that you guys are still here.
Melissa Stern, CBS 46 News.
Melissa, thank you. And again, make sure to stay connected on the latest coronavirus headlines, even when we're not on air. It's easy to do with the powerful CBS 46 streaming app. It's free to download in the Apple App Store and on Google Play.
Breaking right now to Fulton County, a deadly shooting on Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Drive here in southwest Atlanta. Right now, we're asking investigators for more details, but you can see here in this live look that there are plenty of markers there in the street. Investigators are talking with each other. You can see they have the masks on, and you can also see all that crime scene tape all around the Shell station there in southwest Atlanta. We also know at least 2 shots were fired out here. Count on CBS 46 News to update you as we get more details in this newscast for CBS 46 News at 11. Well, first, he was relieved of duty for calling attention to a coronavirus outbreak on his ship. Tonight, the new challenge ahead for this Navy captain.
Plus, how an Atlanta company is helping ease the shortage of much-needed supplies during this outbreak. And coming up in our next half hour, an expert explains the best ways we can all clean our homes to stay safe.